Hello, everyone. Have you ever wondered why you act a certain way? Whether or not you are made the way you are and you're just living out a certain character or personality that you're just going through? Maybe you are one of the 7 rays of consciousness. In today's video, I'm going to go through ray number 4 to ray number 7. In one of our previous videos, I went through ray number 1 to ray number 3. If you haven't watched that one as yet, you can check the link in the description below to see what that's all about. So as a recap, these rays are called the 7 rays of divine consciousness, and they're really there as one of the things that we generally go through in order to figure out who we are in general and really who our soul is and our personality that is within that soul is trying to play out. So each ray has a different theme as to what it is here to embody. Your soul has a ray that it is trying to go through for a longer period of time, and your personality has a ray that it's going through for this period of time. We'll have different rays at different time periods. Some of them go for a longer period of time. Some of them go for a shorter period of time. But we all have one of these rays. My goal here is just to give us an understanding of what the different rays are. And then hopefully you will take that opportunity to go and find out where it is that you fall and how it is that these rays can help you. Hopefully, as we go through a lot of these different trainings, then you'll be able to pick up different things that you can go through as well. One of the other things to note is in different trainings, we have the different psychological factors. So the 7 rays are just like any other psychological profile that we go through. They're different ways of trying to address our internal space. And all the different religions or philosophy have their description of the different psychological events that we go through. We have gone through the 7 governors. We have gone through the 7 archons, the 7 hermetic principle. In the Bible, we have the 7 souls in front of the throne. We have another one in Revelation that says it as well. So let's continue with ray number 4. Ray number 4 is called harmony through conflict. It's not harmony and conflict. It's harmony through conflict. This is where we're able to grab the dualistic nature of ourselves to make something beautiful. We are also able to understand that there are 2 different aspects of something and they don't really mesh that well, but the underlying purpose or understanding between them can create something wonderful. So the people who are here, they're able to look at differences and find similarities. They're able to look at diversity and find cohesiveness. They will bring out the beauty in any situation. These guys are artists, and artists in terms of painting or songwriters, or anyone that's able to bring out and pull out the beauty of something from something else. So the conflict there is to go through the type of struggle that we all have, and then with that struggle, realize that there is wisdom in that struggle. And so recognizing that there is wisdom in the struggle is one of their symbolism. There is beauty in the dynamic of the 2 or the 3 that they have to put together. They're able to turn a heartbreak into passion. So that means their strength is more one of unification of the diversity itself. Diplomacy in order to bring different things together. They are very creative artists. They're very intuitive. They can see things through a greater lens than just the veil that's in front of each of us. Now, their limitations, one of the things that they still have to be very careful about is the moodiness that comes with this. Because remember, this is harmony through conflict, which means they have to deal with both the conflict itself and the harmonization of that conflict. So they're going to have the inner turmoil when they're trying to bridge the gap between the two different things from the external factor. So they can sometimes be very moody or very restless or have internal conflicts in terms of dealing with the different things and the different aspects that they're going through. Yes, these guys, they experience life in contrast and conflicts, and they're able to bring chaos or order to chaos. So let's see if this resonates with you. We're going to do a self-reflection. Think back at a conflict that you had. How was this conflict to you? Were you able to go through this without getting emotionally vested in whatever the situation is? Were you able to see the beauty between the two different sides that you were confronted with? Take a moment to write a word or two in the comments below about what are some of the hidden gems that you were able to internalize while going through this conflict. Could be big or small, really doesn't matter. Let's move on to ray number 5. This ray is the ray of concrete knowledge and science. Unlike the first one, that would be more emotional, these guys deal with analysis, fact, truth, what it is that can be proven, how it is that this goes from one thing to the next in progression. Can it be repeated over and over so that we can get the same result? This means they deal with precision, clarity, and order. So they will take disciplined and inspired action. I would say their symbolism is anything that has to do with exact science or balance, and anything that they can measure. They'll definitely be there because they need to be able to prove things from one side to the next. Their strength would be like honesty, clarity. You have quality in different things, clear thinking, strength of repetition. They are tenacious. They will be able to do things over and over again. Those are the strengths that they have. It's very analytical and structured. Now, the limitations for someone that is so structured, especially in our world today, can be, you would consider, limitless, because they have a tendency to be very narrow-minded or dogmatic. They will stick to one thing and stick to that forever until it can be proven. If it can't be proven, they'll be very skeptical about anything that people tell them. And with dealing with facts, arrogance sometimes come out, because if you can't prove it, they don't want to hear it. They tend to reject things like intuition. So some of the things that they will really need to do or to learn from, what it is that they can take from their own Ray's character, is sometimes look at the bigger picture. Sometimes give up the science or the accuracy. Be more tolerant with the abstract and put themselves into the system of a flow. Purposefully do that, as opposed to being forced to do it. Now, where would you find these? What are their vocation? Of course, man, anything that deals with accuracy. So you're talking about scientists. You're talking about maybe doctors or investigators or anything that tries to seek for truth through facts. Here's a self-reflection on this one that we can try. Think about something that happened recently where you had to shift your perspective on this based on something you read or heard that was different. Let us know in the comment how it is that you dealt with this internal struggle of having to put down your scientific proof or your facts for this to relate to something else that seems not that tangible. Let's move on to ray number 6. To me, ray number 6 and 7 are the most exciting ones of our time period right now. This is because we have been living out ray number 6 for the last 2,000 years, and we are at the overlap between ray number 6 and ray number 7, which is coming on. So right there is a lot of tension and trying to fit different things together. So we are at the cusp. We're right in the middle of that transition, which makes this time period a really volatile time period for this, and also a very interesting time period to be able to make that transition between the two. Ray number 6 is the ray of devotion and idealism. Devotion and idealism. Here we have the uprising of the last 2,000 years that brought us our current religious system. It deals with faith. It deals with devotion, idealism, the fact that we search and yearn for a savior. We search and yearn for that one thing that we can devote ourselves to. This is the age of Pisces that we went through for the last 2,000 years. A couple different things about Pisces. One, it's the water sign. Plus, it's a fish. So Pisces is the fish, which is the sign of the Christian uprising. It also represents baptism by water, not by fire anymore, or not purification through fire. Here we have all the different devotion and idealism and faith and sacrifice that we currently have in this era of our human development. So to us, this is big. This is something we are currently living through, and we're currently living through the transition between one and the other. And I've given you some of the symbolism already, which is the fish and the baptism by water. But let's take some of the people. Here we have the saints that came through. We had Master Jesus that came through. We had people like Shiva that came through as well. And all the different esoteric texts that had the stories of like Krishna and Arjuna that went through all the different struggles that they went through. These are all idealism. These are all the devotion and faith that came through this system. So their strength is loyalty. We preach love, devotion, reverence, having that single point of monotheistic religion that came through during that period. Now, as great as the period was, we still had a lot of limitations from that. And just think about where things are. We have fanaticism. We had separation where we are so narrow-minded in that one faith that we are called or drawn to. We are intolerant of differences, and we are very prejudiced about the one faith or group that we are attached to. So one of the things that we'll need to do here is, like what I'm trying to do in this with this channel, is to help us bridge the different cultures and the different philosophies together. Because we've been so strong before in the age of Pisces, where we are holding on to these idealisms, that we now have to pivot to the other side to be in that group context where we harmonize things a little bit better. What are some of the vocations that you will find for this group? And you will find them all around us. These are the ones who have a service for something greater than themselves. This is where you have the different preachers or anyone that deals with a cause. So you have it where they're they're tree huggers. They're saving the planet. We have feed the hunger. We're looking at all the different people that are being misrepresented or they don't have a voice. So these guys, they reach out to things that are bigger than themselves, because they're bringing the collective through to be devoted to something. So that's why they will be in all these different social events and social welfare and activism. Politics is the same thing. And all the different things that we're seeing play out right now in our society is all because we are living through the sixth ray consciousness for the entire earth. It's a big deal. So the self-reflection for this ray, I am going to choose two different parts for this. One, give me some of the newer devotional things that you've gone through. For instance, are you accustomed to meditation, to lighten candles, to engaging with different forms of spirit, whether it's ancestors or galactic spirits or anything like that? Tell me in the comments below if you have any of those. Second, go to the opposite side and let me know which ones you think are just way out there. So if you're listening to this, maybe you're on the esoteric side and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't understand how the Christian religion or the, what I would call the Orthodox faith look at certain things. Just sort of tell me kindly in the comment below where you fall. Let's move on to ray number 7. Ray number 7 is order and ceremonial magic. I'm really passionate about this one because I realize that this transition that we're in is really what this channel is all about. It's about getting into a structure to help with the different diversity and the different things that are happening. Let me read the definition that I have on this one for you, because I really want to get the context of this very clearly. This is the ray of manifestation, alchemy, and a sacred order. It translates spiritual ideas into tangible matter by building systems that helps humanity's soul evolve. They pioneer the sacred order and ceremony of the divine rhythm and bring spirit into daily life through effective use of curriculum, knowledge, and practice. So that is where the system that I've developed comes in, where it gives you the overall basis of where it is that humanity is, with the 7 principles, the 7 pillars of our third dimension. Then it goes through and it gives you the spiritual growth and development. And within that, we have how it is that we bring our thoughts to things. Then we try to figure out, okay, so how do we actually grow ourselves? So in that part about the 3 most important aspects of ourselves is where this training fits, because this is trying to figure out who you are. So the symbolism for here are really some of the rituals that we see that are coming out now. And they were rituals from before, but we're trying to put them in sort of an order that make them seem magical and let us bring and capture the old spirituality with the new spirituality and bring it together to show that inside of us is where everything is. So what are some of the strengths of this individual or this group? They have great organizing power. They're really disciplined in how they bring things out. They can harmonize all the different facets together and give us the rituals and routines that are required to bring our soul from what you would consider the lower level to the higher level. But it's really going through the different bodies themselves, because we have different bodies inside of us. So it's going through those different bodies and just elevating everything all the way through. They give you systems and tangible stuff to do in order to achieve that. However, we still have limitations in this part of the system. And I can see that in today's what we would consider modern spirituality. Why? We tend to go through certain rigor or superstition or follow some of our rituals or routines from an external perspective. And so we try to seek perfection in how we do these things. So you will see someone that says, okay, so we're going to do yoga, and you have to do the yoga on the external side in a certain manner. And, we have an over-reliance on all the different activities that are on the outside of us, as opposed to the activities that are on the inside of us. The true definition and meaning for this ray is the development of the soul. It's the development of the soul body, not the development of our personality, not the development of what we are going to throw, what we are going to show here in 3D. It's really the inside part of us. And so that's the limitation. We hear and see and get a lot of teachings from the ancient religion as to what to do, but we take this on the Western side and make it become an externalized factor as opposed to an internalized factor. And that to me is a great limitation of this age. So what are some of the self-reflection we can do on this one? It really overlaps with the previous one, but here is what I would like for you to do. If you are new relatively to this form of spirituality, leave in the comments below, like, what are the different types that you have come into? Have you identified with different ones? For instance, shamanism, or we might have changed more to Buddhism or Hinduism, Hermetic principles, or the Galactic Federation of Planets, or anything like that. Drop in the comments below which ones you are associated with, so we can share the diversity that we all have with the new and upcoming spirituality that we're going through. Those are the 7 rays of our divine consciousness. As we can see, these rays go through psychological and spiritual growth that really tries to develop our spiritual and psychological belief from the inside and help us to understand what are some of our struggles and what it is that we have limitations on that we should embody and grow through. Now, if you recognize 1 or 2 of these rays within you, then that can help you to understand what is your soul ray's calling. What is your soul's calling? The first thing you're going to find is maybe the personality ray, because that's what's more present. But hidden underneath that is your soul ray. And maybe how you can find out what this is is try to go through and pick up on the different things that you find that you will love, and something that can help develop humanity. It doesn't have to be something on a grand scale, but just something that you go, hey, you know what? In doing this, I feel good, and this is able to help others at the same time. Hopefully you were able to find which ray you belong to, or start the investigation of understanding which one or ones you fall into, and see if you can figure out or find your soul's purpose on what your soul's direction is. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you were able to learn something in this video, and come back again and see us. If this is your first time, welcome and thanks for joining. Please remember to subscribe to the video and hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos. Please remember to enter your comments below so that we can see and continue with this conversation. If this is something that resonates with you, go ahead and like the video. I would also appreciate it if you share this with others that you think might learn or want to hear something like this moving forward. It's a pleasure, as always, bringing these to you. Thank you, and namaste.